It's been a while since the last stream, but now we're on it for the 3v3 league again. This is the 5th division playoff final, first playoff final played this weekend. And we have Dying to the Boar with Hoopla as the captain here, versus Imperiales GG. And Hoopla's team, they've been around since the very first season, played every single one. Somehow they always end up in the lowest division through the seeding sheet, even though they're doing well and they've even won the playoffs sometimes. But new teams enter, and then you have to make a judgment of the overall joining players anyway. Is what it is. These are the maps they picked. So the first pick for Hoopla is Adriatic Islands. Pretty water-heavy hybrid map, as you can see. Towns that are spawning near the shoreline, always in with the red and blue closest to the middle, and the highest colors furthest away. And Imperialis proceeding, picking an open land map, Land Madness. So they do get 2 picks first, 1 guaranteed home map for each team. Then we move on to the bands, which are Compass, another nomad start, but also with hybrid qualities. Serengeti is gone, so Hoopla's team don't seem to enjoy open land maps all that much. The wall being their next pick. Huge wall in the middle, that white line over there. And migration for Imperialis, so they seem to know how to work their way around water maps as well. Finally banning the last 2 remaining maps before deciding on the designated neutral map, which is Maghreb. A returning map to these team games events. Oh, by always suggested in the suggestion forms. So let's have a look at the civilizations of choice. Maghreb, you'll want some water focus, but nothing too particular. I can see Mayans and Berbers, maybe even Japanese, being used here. And Japanese for the water, Mayans and Berbers for the great land capabilities they have. Certainly some other options as well among these civilizations, but that's what comes to mind at first here. Imperialis. I'm wondering if they might want Persians up top for the water focus and the great land civilization that they are, but could also be for scouts play on Land Madness, so let's leave that for a moment. And maybe Lithuanians is for migration, so... But you'll want some mobility for Maghreb, so Hans comes to mind, Hindustanis as well. And then probably one larger civilization, Vietnamese, since it's a nomad start, perhaps. Hello, Girsados, welcome. But without further ado, let's just hop into Maghreb and have a look at what the teams have planned here. Let's go for Dying to the Boar first. Spawning on the left-hand side. Girsados in the green here with the Huns. Ooh, Huns, yeah, would always be good for Maghreb in any case, but nowadays Huns get a horse once they complete their town center. So the Huns will provide a sneaky scout early on to get a great impression of the map overall and what the other team might be up to early on. So no Vietnamese as far as I can see, but Huns have been picked here. We have Chotosaurio in the blue down here, finding a TC on 2 pawns. They both go for that approach. Great starting town centers for gray and blue here. Blue going for the Khmer, won't need any buildings to go up. Could be some super fast scouts opening at work here. Whereas Saito is going for the Hindustanis, which will provide, let's assume the early scouts from the Khmer will also provide some extra damage against buildings for the scouts and camels line. So could see a double scouts play here, perhaps from Imperialis GG, while Girsados eventually will be able to dock. Starting with 100 less wood as the Huns, but otherwise good to go here. I suppose you start with a camel on this map as well, but having an additional scout still lets you scout the map faster, so why not? For dying to the boar, we have Lava Alarm in the red playing as the Berbers, as expected. Faster moving villagers, cheaper cavalry, camel archers for the long and late game, the unique unit, and also unique technology from the castle, boosting the production speed of all castles by, or unique units, maybe castle production by 30%. Hoopla in the purple as coals here. Both gathers gold through stone mining. 40%, I believe. They have a full work with an aura around the building that when you place farms around it, you get extra wood income, which is handy. And also got great cavalry options. Book from the castle, Arbalest access. So versatile civ, but not necessarily the strongest one in the very late game. And Topakinas with the Javanese over here. Going to take some responsibility for water over here. As the green camel is about to spot the dock going up here. Japanese fishing ships, twice the hit points and more armor, making it easier for them to survive the naval fighting. Hello, Per 100. Wouldn't know how to pronounce that. Ooh. So look at the scouting progress here while we speed it up a little bit to see what the next age will bring us. So far the populations look relatively similar. Looks like we have the starting of what would eventually become a team wall topside here, but these are shallows. You can't build on those. You'd have to wall towards your dock in that case, which is an option for sure. Village is in for the Khmer player. Maybe as expected, but also a fast village for the Berbers here. Both very likely going to open the scouts then. Double stables from the Khmer, not joking around here. It's not unlikely to work out because there's plenty of fast food to be taken from the fish over here. That's 2 stables to 1 as our grey player reaches the village as well. Going to provide the stable as well. Double scouts as speculated earlier on. But there's a limit to how long shorefish only will sustain the scouts opening. Both stables producing for now. Doesn't seem to impact the town center production. Clever walling here of the woodlines, but with the Hindustanis bonus for the scouts, you might still be able to break through those. Green still in the Dark Age with the Huns. 5 fishing ships out, but the yellow player double docks, investing heavily onto water here. The Japanese, but it might be worth it. Japanese fishing ships have a faster work rate, and as long as you don't make more galleys than you actually need to win the water here, Tobakinas might be rewarded for this kind of investment, securing the water, getting long-lasting supply of food before needing farms because of the fishing. Green does not know about the double docks, but yellow also doesn't know how much green has decided to invest up north here, but doesn't look like Girtados is going to invest much into water at all. Just wanted to get those early fishing ships out, boost the starting fruit a little bit, and then just take it from there. Alright, so what's the scout situation here? 12 scouts for blue, heavy investment on the scouts. 20 scouts total for Imperialis GG here, while the green player, they're basically buying time for Gersalos to get to the castle age here. Maybe that's going to... They still need to do damage for this to work. Dying to the war, technically with an economic villager's lead here. They're also claiming water, gonna win that easily with the galleys now out. Tovakinas has stopped producing galleys. 5 galleys should be plenty to win here. There's only 1 dock, which in return frees up the waters for Tovakinas teammates to collect the fish as well. Let's see if the scouts can break through here. Any upgrades on them yet? No upgrades, but forging is on the way. Spearman getting some decent hits in here. 8 scouts left now. Gate being repaired, but yeah, I don't think Lamalar is going to let those scouts in anytime soon. Desperately trying to break through the woodland here. Scouts not really doing damage when they're pounding away at walls like this, so that's doing like to the more favor. While Lamalar is finding damage on the other side. 8 eco kills total for dying to the boar. So even though they're not quite in the cast age yet, Tom Akinas on the way there. Dying to the boar in a decent spot now. They're keeping the scouts away for the most part. Sending the scouts home to try and take the fight as well. I don't know what the camel is doing there. Maybe just join the control group randomly. How are Hindustani scouts not able to break in? I mean, the gate has 400 hit points and it was constantly being repaired by 1 or 2 villagers. So... And they were lacking forging for a while. Of course, when they got it, it cost even more, but then the reinforcements came back with the scouts and the spears and whatnot. Right, for the cavalry archers for Girsalos with the Huns here. That should be more deadly for the woodlands for dying to the boar. And it's only the only place where Lamalarm has wood access. Is that only... Hold up. Yep. Oh, they're in! They're in! That's the only woodland, only wood access of Lamalarm here. Let's have a look at the 320 within the bank. This hurt a lot. Finally, the scouts... So, just like that, the scouts are in. And Hoopla comes to the rescue with the pole scouts, but still... 1 villager going down there and the lumberjacks going idle for a long time. Scouts over at the other side, those gold miners should be fine. There's 1 exposed miner over here, though, which Lamalarm doesn't seem to realize is there. You saw those with the castle age actually sent some fire guns out now. Somehow managed to deal with the galleys of the yellow player. Tomakinas must have had some other priorities in the meanwhile. We were too focused on land to notice that happening. Town center going up down south on the gold for yellow, while the 2 players still in the feudal age. 2 players still in the feudal age for Imperialis GG, whereas dying to the boar have 2 players in the castle age, making cavalry archers and knights respectively. Japanese cavalry archers, not to be messing around with. They have full upgrades. But that's some serious losses for Lamalarm. They're losing all of the gold miners. The archers getting some raids down for both sides here. Gisaldo's going to... I mean, Williams will be going down now for Lava Alarm on the wood line. Because there's nothing here to keep these cavalry archers away. I don't know what Blue is doing over here. We'll see if there's some kind of sneak building happening here. Probably just a misclick. Are they missing Bodkin? They're not, but if you loop around to the top side, you could still range the lumberjacks from that angle, I guess. Feel like you should keep pushing this, because that's Lava Alarm's only access of wood that would significantly impact the ability to farm and create production buildings. Rowing around the map with the cavalry archers here. Oh, they're gonna spot the yellow shore fisherman over here as well. Oh, good hit. No ballistics, but if you're close enough and stay still, the cavalry archers will get those hits in. Fargal is getting value. These are Japanese fishing ships. Takes time to take them out, but eventually they'll be going down, so Tomakinas will lose the free fish food income. We'll have to invest more into farms shortly. Does have gold axes down south, so should be able to keep making cavalry archers, matching Blue's numbers, but Gisaldos has the Hunt's bonus, producing them more quickly. Nice, leaving one cavalry archer behind there on the wood line. Not quite able to range the villagers. Would be better to camp the other side perhaps, but have a look at the wood income. 7 on wood now for Lava Alarm, so Lava Alarm must have found wood somewhere else. I don't know. Desperately needs a DC in this area. They're right there. Yeah, now finally fleeing towards home. There's a player to the left as Hoopla wants to break through the mining camp over. He could just attack the mining camp in all fairness. One cavalry archer here would be enough to deny the walling and take out the villagers as well, so if that's the only place Saito is taking gold, it is, then Saito could be in trouble even halfway to the Castle Age. Rare bonus coming into play here, hiding villagers in the houses, but that also results in a lot of idle worker time. Cavalry archer number still kind of matching, is 15 to 11. And army strength as well is roughly the same army value, I'd say. Yeah, finally the town center on the wood for Lava Alarm should help secure that from the raids. Finally securing the wood here for tying to the war. No, now with good access. Castle Age in for the Hindustan's player, immediately going for the camels. Good play considering there's double cavalry on the field for the purpose and the poles here. No castles for the poles yet, so no unique technology. Reducing the gold cost for cavalry. Tying to the boar, having lost... They just have higher idle TC time, that's why they have fewer villagers here. All of the teams now in Castle Age. This is a game that looks even and looks like it's going to go longer for sure. Yellow fighting the way back on water again. Did not replenish the fish though. Not yet. Maybe wants to make sure green is completely out of water before reinvesting into the fish. It's hard to follow the action on this map because there's always raids going on everywhere and so many different areas to focus on. This essentially 4 sections: gold zone, fish and hunt, wood and well, mainly wood up here, and then fish and some relics and extra resources up top, which could be significant in the very long game, but most of the golds and stones are down to the south. This does mean, though, that when controlling water like this for dying to the boar. If their southernmost areas of gold and stone are contested, they could still move, try to transport to the north and find those small patches of resources, not to mention the relics, just a tiny bit of stone. Okay, so maybe not that relevant, but the relics do provide some gold. Imperialis in the military lead here, but that's a lot of light cavalry making up that army composition. Good for raids, yes, but not necessarily that powerful. And looking for that same wood line again. Must realize by now that Lamalarm has relocated. Mainly focusing on gold over here, maybe. Misclick. Still collecting wood somewhere. Where is Lamalarm collecting wood? Yeah, all around the TC here, apparently. Yeah, it would be more efficient to make a lumber camp over here, but probably forgot about it in the heat of the moment around here. Camels and knights fighting it out here. Looks like a bit fight for Imperialis. They are feeling more military. The eco situation is dead even still. Looks like Tom Aquinas in the yellow wants to collect some relics because there's a transport ship at work here. Could be a misclick as well. Did not make any new fishing ships. Not that many deep fish here, I guess, but I mean, could still bring in some bonus food. Hello, Crazy Joe. Twice the military now for Imperialis GG. It's still light cab comprising parts of that. 5 cavalry archers no less for the Japanese now, pumping out the cavalry archers, but still outnumbered by Gisados' Huns with the more efficient triple archery ranges producing them. They do work faster as well. Here comes the castle for the Japanese in a strategic and defensive spot. Manages to sort of trap in the green cavalry archers as well. Upgrades better for yellow. Got both defense upgrades, which makes it a better fight even in even numbers. Nice. Light cavalry in place here for Chotosaurio to delay this castle drop. Map positioning. They're still splitting the map in half. Arguably more of the mapping control for Imperialis GG. They place another DC down south. This could be a long game for the neutral starting map, but Lamalarm getting some good trades in here with the cavalry. Imperial Age on the way for the Japanese player. I'm not sure what that's for. Maybe for heavy cavalry archer and bracer. Seems like an early Imperial Age at this point. What's that gonna do for you here? It's gonna give you trebuchets, but there aren't really any castles to trebuchet down here at this point. Great raid value for Imperialis here, taking out lots of villagers. 20 villagers lead by now, they also have the military lead. Maybe they're getting an overall advantage here through all this raiding, and the economic expansion is undoubtedly larger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 town centers to... Actually, they have the same amount of town centers. It's just more consistent production of villagers for Imperialis, and the Huns never needing to worry about housed issues, with almost twice the villagers of the lowest villager population on Dying to the Boar. Good rating value from the light cab from the mirror for sure. Scorpions added by Gisaldos as well. Right on the 5 archery ranges of the yellow player, no less. Looks like it's still only one TC for Tomakinas. No, there's 2, sorry. There's one down south as well. But Cavalry Archer is about to get even better value here now. 121 villagers for Gisaldos, free to keep adding military. Should be adding more military here at this point if the resources allow for it, and it certainly does. Lots of wood, food, and gold in the bank could easily double up or triple up on the Cavalry Archer numbers at this point, but decides to take the fight. Scorpions getting some... Scorpions missing, actually! What the hell? What? What? So why is my speed back? Is the rewind function not working? Anyway, I wanted to rewind to show that looks like the Scorpion didn't hit any targets at all. I hope that's not the case. That would be a very unfortunate bug in that case. But there were only 2 of them, so it wouldn't have made a huge impact in this particular case. Have the fight in the middle here. Looks like a good one for blue. Got more dampers, but is that only knights? It is indeed only knights. Upgrades wise, blue seems to have the better overall as well. Trebuchets added by yellow still. No particular, no castles whatsoever for Imperialis. So Trebuchets, I don't understand the urgency of Trebuchets right now. It would take down. Clicking on the back arrows make it work. Uh-oh. This doesn't look too promising. Alright, you meant those. Uh-oh. Well... I will have to reopen this game and fast forward to 43 minutes, it looks like. No, sorry about that. I'll be right back for you. Technical issues, unfortunately. Well, maybe I could actually open it from here. Let's have a look. Picking up where we left off, don't trust these stats overviews because I picked up from the moment where we left off at the Capture Age crash. So let's just keep an eye at the rest panel to have an idea of the players' resources and conclude this game. Cavalry archers, 20 in number. I think skirmishers as well for Girsados. I'm not loving that with the amounts of camels and knights on the field, but we'll see how that plays out for them. Heavy camel coming in for Lamalarm. It's 20% cheaper, camels and knights now for the Berbers player. Attempted raids by purple over here, but looks like it's got some knights here and there. Castles going up for the poles as well. Double castles. Excuse me. Mainly to secure the economy. But of course also allows for the unique technology to be researched for the poles. "28 cavalry archers to 11 now for our yellow friend Tom Aquinas, dying to the boar, slowly getting that army number back to some extent. As we have a forward castle for Saito in the gray here, covered by, or protected by at least a few camels over here. Oh, but a nice break in. The castle will be denied. Great breakthrough by Hoopla over there. Going to stop that forward. Gray castle from happening. And a trebuchet dealing with that castle as we go as well. Pushing forward now for Tom Aquinas, but the elite skirmishers of green are here. They're going to clean up most of these heavy cavalry archers. That's losses that the Japanese player doesn't want to take at any point, and especially not now. Forward castle trying to go up, another forward castle failing. Now one failed castle on either side for each team. Still an even-ish game here. But 80 more villagers for Imperialis, and they still have a 30 military lead as well. So they have a 100 population total lead. Good help from Trotosaurio, the teammate as well here, to help stop that castle and clean up some massive amounts of army here. 5 archery ranges. Still produces for Tomakinas, as Imperialis have decided to go more on the defensive here with 40 elite skirmishers. Much less mobility than with the cavalry archers of the Huns, but Huns could always switch into knights and paladins again here as well. Cavalier's getting some value here from the Camber. That's about all the crew are going to get from the Adam. This last attack upgrade could go into elite battle elephants at a later point as well. As another castle has been denied over here. Oh, funnily enough, we could now it works. I don't know. Maybe it's just first game of the day issues for Capture Age here. convincing villager lead for Imperialis GG now, but not so convincing military lead anymore. Skirmishers, elite skirmishers, they won't really have much to say against what could become Cavaliers of Hoopla on the poles soon enough. And now, defensive castle from Trottosaurio to make sure this Pole's castle never goes up. Hoopla could meddle in here, but probably not worth it up against heavy camels and knights here. Always has a lot of villagers. Hoopla really wants this Pharaoh Ford castle up. Does Imperialis see this? Here come the camels. Here comes the blue. Oh, the quick house obstructing the villagers here. They're coming from either direction, but I don't think Hoopla will get to complete this castle. Not if Trottosaurus army management is on point here. Okay, the castle goes up, but for how long will that stay up? This is essentially 5 petards worth of bombing this castle from Trottosaurio, or Hoopla's castle here. Hoopla sent a lot of villagers to complete this one, lost a lot of villagers in the way, in the process. But look at the villager count of Hoopla, 46 villagers only upon entering Imperial Age. Probably wanted to pressure this area with trebuchets forward and some coverage from wherever. Yeah, took a huge losses in the process. Green is pressuring the north side as well. And Stable's going up for the Japanese player now. Maybe wanting to get some light cavalry raids in here, or maybe it's just missing some crucial upgrades for the cavalry archer. Well, now this trebuchet has been able to fire all on its own here from Lava Alarm without being contested by the huge cavalry mass over to this side. Imperial Caval in for Grey. Where are they gonna move out to next? Yeah, petards moving over, dealing with Hoopla's castle. There should be enough of the Imperial Camels and Cavalier. If they work together, this is an easy cleanup. These trebuchet and these camel archers. Will they repair? Does Trottosaurio realize? Not in time, I'm not too sure. Oh, get those repairs going! Ah, there we go. Frantic repairs. Gotta keep it up. Only one trebuchet pushing here. Had there been 2 trebuchets, this castle would have been history. Side heavy cavalry archers of Japanese pushing back 27 in the numbers, dying to the boar, refusing to let the game go just yet. They've been pressured further and further away. They're losing more control down south as well. Looks like Hoopla is getting some decent rates in, but once again they're outnumbered in army, and their villager situation is looking dire. They're half the villagers now of Imperialis. More ranges going up for Gesalos as well, has the heavy cavalry archers back in production now, but still mainly relying on the elite skirmishers, which is possible when there's so little cavalry on the field for dying to the boar. To the boar certainly has that fighting spirit, but there's a grey castle in the middle here with lots of Imperial Camels around it, fully upgraded, pushing the trebuchets as well. Castle, another castle going down for Hoopla, and town centers going down south as well. Hoopla, no resources to produce at all. Lambalarm running low as well. Did produce a fair chunk of camel archers, but if these castles go down, then there's no option of producing camel archers anymore for the red player. Tomakinas is pushing top north with the getting some raids in with the heavy cavalry archers here, but also doesn't want to get too close to the elite skirmishers. As Grisaldo's in full control of things up top here, get some stone walls up to make sure that the armies can't easily enter to raid up here. The walls weren't keeping everything away here because of these shallows, so the light cav of the Japanese able to enter after all. Dying to the boar, 2k score behind. That's probably why they're still playing, to be fair. They're seeing, okay, we're 2k score behind, maybe there's hope here, but the stats don't lie. They're half the villagers, they're running out of resources. We must be nearing the end here, as Hoopla will lose another, Hoopla is a Lava Alarm, will lose another castle over here. And they will just be overwhelmed by the raiding armies. No more heavy cavalry archers for Girsados, is going into the paladin instead, and has plenty of resources to pump out these paladins. 21 cavaliers and counting on the field. Quite a bit of rest in Green's bank here. I could share some with the Khmer player maybe. At this point, slinging is unrestricted in the near ledge. Well, it doesn't look like it's needed to close out and win this game for Imperialis, to be fair. Trebuchet moving further and further into the base territory and dying to the boar. They've got about 25% of the map at this point. Yes, some raids happening here, but not enough to get back into the game. Look at the military situation especially. Almost 4 times the military size for Imperialis, and the military count also twice that of the opponents. We're speaking in overall population, almost 3 times the size here. Which is really the point of no return for dying to the board. They've been there for a while, they keep fighting. As at least one player still has military, but if they're communicating at all here, Tomakinas should be notified that his teammates does not have any military to provide at all. They don't have resources to rebuild or provide military, and it's just not any position to hard carry here in this one from Tomakinas. The GG is called, first game for Imperialis. GG. Let's go to the in-game stats for this one, since Capture H had to be restarted. Yeah, that's a luxury problem to have, to be population capped. Highest kills here for the yellow player, so certainly provided some good raids and damage there, just not enough to bring the game home. So much food collected for the Khmer, that's those Khmer farms. Uptimes showing faster few ages for the double scouts approach of Saito. Fast castle. 4 hunts behind that as well. 16 something minutes. Not bad for a novel start. And gives all those to the point of over boom here as well. 148 villager high. Going to the board, not making it past 100. None of them. So, let's go back to the drafts here. We'll check off Maghreb. We'll be seeing Adriatic Islands or the Wall next. Let's just make sure to total out the civilizations used here. Poles, Japanese Berbers, gone. Imperialis winning with the Khmer Huns and Hindustani. So pretty late picks. I'm wondering if maybe... Not even sure where they want to use Persians, if it's for migration, land madness, or Adriatic Islands. Should not be for the wall. But for the other ones, sure. Let's work on the assumption that game 2 is Adriatic Islands. I expect to see... maybe something like Malay, Koreans, and then a strong pocket here. Malay, Koreans, Romans, Cubans. Teuton's a bit slow. They're better for the wall. Imperialis, I guess Persians would be great for a water-heavy hybrid map like that. Not going to discourage that. Then they could use Lithuanians for migration instead. And something else for land banners. So let's say Persians. Saracens, versatile civilization, could be used for many purposes. Then what's the third one? Not a lot of naval civilizations here. Maybe that will go full land with these three civilizations as well. But let's all hop into game 2 and see what's next here. Adriatic Islands coming up. And here we can see the civilizations. Sicilians, Malians, Mayans, Georgians, Slavs, and Vietnamese. First home map of Dying to the Boar. As you can see, a huge water body here. Lots of deep fish, but spread out, so it's going to be less and less efficient as you go. There are some islands there. I can only assume that these are the Adriatic Islands then. Large enough for a couple of town centers. Got some relics on those, but main emphasis being the additional stones and golds here. So that's a huge incentive to fight for and control water. Because as you can see, the resources otherwise on land. Yes, there are larger piles of golds and stones. No, actually there aren't. These are standard golds and stones. I'm not loving the gold spawn of Hoopla, by the way. This is really far in the back. It's safe, yes, but you also need to scout them. And this one is on the edge. Not exactly ideal. I guess that's the case for both of them. So, if anything, it's a fair spawn of secondary gold. Right, slabs for Girsados in the back here. Not sure what that's supposed to mean. Probably going to be booming like crazy like the previous game. Maybe backdock and hope to secure the early fish for longer. Tefajos in Telar. In the green here as the Vietnamese. In the pocket position. Which well, yeah. Middle position. Don't know the reasoning for that. Not too famous for naval play, the Vietnamese, but they do get bracer, which is important for the very late game naval fighting. And then finally Sicilians for Saito. Maybe we'll see some new pudding-esque approach here. That would be fun to see some all-in topside play here. Sheep spawning behind the woodland here. Gonna take a while for Saito to find those. Could even happen that Lava Alarm finds them first. If Lava Alarm decides to move out and try to go straight for Saito's side. So these are fixed spawns when you know where the water is. So it should be relatively easy to find your opponent's location here. So, let's have a look at Dying to the Boar as well. Middle positioning for Lama Alarm with the Mayans. And on the civilization, I don't really understand from that position, but I suppose you could... you have cheaper walls, maybe that's the reasoning here. Just wall off to the edge of the water here, and have your teammates try and control the water, and then wall between the wood lines. Did get that early scouting in. This looks like intentional scouting to place those walls nice and early. You start from here and work your way inwards. In the middle pocket position, we have Bike G with the Georgians. Long-term plan, possibly Monaspa here from the castle unique unit. Getting stronger as you increase the numbers of Monaspa and cavalry around them. Finally, Hoopla in the purple over here with the Malians. more famous for hybrid capabilities than Malians. Very open tech tree in the Castle Age. Lots of opportunities. Buildings cost less wood, so you can get your dock up nice and early. This is gonna be a fun one for later. And yeah, already starting fishing here as the only player so far. So should give Hoopla some economic advantage. I wonder if Imperialis will open scouts against the Sicilians. Certainly could. With their extra resistance against their counter units. Take less damage from Spearman, 50% less bonus damage at least. Does manage to get here in time to stop the walling of Lava Alarm. Just to be a little bit annoying, idling some resource income over here. Looks like early feudal age times all around. Still, the only player docking is Hoopla, who is in the feudal age but doesn't really worry about scouting or fighting for water here. Imperialis don't seem to care about water at all. Just going for the forward range and want to end this game on land. Golden opportunity here for dying to the board to get some idea of the water, claim water, win water. I mean, at this point, you could stop Imperialis from going to water at all with just a few galleys on the shoreline over here. And then suddenly you control the water, and you can just transport over units to raid with. And there's nothing Imperialis can do to stop that, at least not with the walls. A very forward archery range spotted. Second range going up for Saito as well. Joining in with scouts over here. For this being one of Dying to the Boar's home maps, I don't really understand the plan over here. You will find some sheep over there, that's funny. These palisade walls might not necessarily last that long now with the first archer out. Sicilians playing the archers. Also something I didn't really see coming, but they have decent archery range units. Should be able to get in here. Archer denying the quick falling behind here. Lava Alarm going for the archers as well. Neither of them have fletching, so they're fighting on equal terms here, except that Green has joined in with the scouts as well. Similar scouts and archers numbers, more for Green, but not all of the scouts are forward just yet. As far as walling goes, it's just this one gap here. Maybe you want to consider dropping a market foundation or something here from Lava Alarm to keep the quick falling outside of Saito's archer's range. Slow pushback here from Dying to the Board, though. Committing to the palisade walls and stopping the aggression for now. No more scouts or archers entering at this point. Still only Hoopla docking here. You can tell the economic advantage it gives already, but Castle Age now on the way for the slabs. Mining gold. No barracks or stable or anything yet. We'll see what Givsalos is up to. Maybe his team is just buying time for Saito to... No, Saito I say. Givsalos to boom on the 3 DCs here with the slabs and come back with some huge power with the untouched full boom behind all this. Once again inside here for Imperialis GG. Castle Age in for Givsalos. Not placing any TCs, not making any military just yet, but this looks like it's going to be another town center, right? No? No military, no nothing, just farms. Okay. The aggression doesn't really make it far. Dying to the Boar has managed to weather the storm with their small but efficient armies here. Good teamwork. Okay, we do have a stable somewhere here for For Saito. Where is it? Why am I so blind? Oh, it's here! It's right next to the wall. Stone walls panic for Lava Alarm here. Really does want to let this aggression through. Blocking for the mines as well, but there's no naval military at all from either team. So you could still transport villagers or army through here if you're Imperialist GG. Looks like they want to try and find other points of entry. Oh! Oh, that's clever! Scouting to the edge of the map, finding a woodline, finding the opening! No! Dying to the boar. Think they're through the wall. That's the classic mistake over here. Hello. How'd you get in? Don't show it! Don't show it now! Why are you showing that sneaky spearman? No! Kill him! Delete him! Tell your teammates it's open to the south. Come on! Get in! It's open! Come on! Ah, here they go, here they go, here they go! Enter the cavalry. At red. Didn't notice. Did not notice. The spearman sneaking about. He's dead. But... Whoopsie! Now what? Still no naval military from die to the war. Massive amounts of scouts and knights entering here from Girsados and Tefayos in Terrar. Surprise, surprise, Lava Alarm is going to lose probably at least 10 villagers here, maybe more. And there's not really that much to hold this aggression away. Blue Archers trying to make an opening again. They probably will make one now with the raids happening on the woodland here. And that's just a couple of tiles of wall missing to keep this raid from happening in the first place. Still only 1 TC for Girsados. Bloodlines just about to come in, not producing any particular military at this point. Hoopla is in the castle age as well, as could some knights. Let's have a quick look at the resource situation here. Both back players essentially playing the pocket role are not really consistently producing military. I wonder if Girsados is maybe housed. Has been housed for quite a while now. Keeps getting more lights but doesn't realize he's housed. That's funny. That should mean some significant idle TC time as well. Desperately in need of housing here. Enter Saito's armies. Imperialist 30 military to 6 here. Hoopla can't carry this on his own, and there are 2 players of the dying to the port going to the castle age now. They're so vulnerable at this point. Look at Lava Alarm's economic situation. 26 villagers, no military. This already looks like a much shorter game than the first one. It all comes down to this open area down in the corner. Which is still open, by the way. Scout your woodlands. Scout your foot woodlands all the way to the edge, guys. Otherwise, these things are gonna happen. Hello, Lorenzo Schneider. Welcome. Siege workshop for the Slavs forward. Slavs have cheaper siege weapons. Hoopla with a decent amount of camels and knights here now should be able to trade well and clean up the forward armies of Imperialists. But how are Imperialists not in the builder's lead here? With the raids, they've killed 18 builders and still they are behind. Well, they do have some significant idle time issues. Girsados with the housedness for probably well over a minute, not too long ago. Hoopla with 1 stray scout going to actually delay that town center going up here for our teal friend. To the board, I want to return the raiding favor here. They have more military. They have all the players in the castle age as opposed to Imperialis still having Saito in the in the feudal age here. Is this the comeback for the Eye to the Boar? How are they coming back from this? How did Imperialists not have more armies to raid or just keep their armies alive for longer while raiding? Maybe they got too eager with the surprise factor of finding the hole in the corner, which has finally been plugged. Well, getting great value as well. 13 villager kills. Some of them were probably the forward villagers as well. It's not every day you see Vietnamese knights and scouts in the team game, but here we go. Maybe they just mixed out the positions, wanted Sicilians in the middle, but it's what it is. Bloodlines in, double defense in, that goes for both of them. Die to the Boar. I guess the reason the villager count looks relatively similar is because of all of the fishing ships. Because they have 17 fishing ships, allowing them to more easily keep the town centers running even when being raided on land. Both raiders getting denied here. Mike G with the cavalry, Hoopla with the cavalry as well. Combat players trying to reclaim their Adriatic Islands map here now. I'll say, GG well played is called. Imperialis tap out. That's some amazing momentum. But on a map like this, you should never get away with not docking. They never once even considered docking here. They went straight for the land approach, which makes me curious why they would pick migration, because migration is even more water fighting heavy in the early game here. I guess with the thesis popping up here and the score lead being as significant as it is what caused Imperialis to call it here. Yeah, but you fish just gives you such an economic boost on these maps. 69 to 19 for Hoopla. That's a pretty dominant KD there. 50 kills, Malians, nice, and early to the Castle Age there. He gives all those early as well, but didn't really get that much out of that super fast Castle Age. If there had been 5 or 6 fishing ships to boost that, it would be a lot easier to keep the military production going as well. Maybe be even more patient before engaging, getting some more numbers up. Yeah, that's the fish again, right? I wonder if we could show. For example, the food collection, yeah, Hoopla. Since minute 12 or so, massively ahead in food collection. Didn't lose a single villager. Neither did Mike. So Labalar was the only one taking a beating there. Maybe that was his only job on the middle position there, just buy time for the teammates to stabilize. Back to the Civ draft. Georgians winning. Malians winning. And Mayans, which I suspected for a different map, winning that one. Vietnamese are down. Slavs are down. And Sicilians as well. Late picks again for Imperialis. So we'll see what they took up for the next one, which will be either Land Madness or Migration. Let's hope for Land Madness, as it's the first one. I would envision a Persians or Lithuanians pocket for that one. And then you'll have your usual archers on the flanks. Maybe As simple as these three for Land Madness. First home map, first 3 picks. Whereas Hoopla's team has to be Franks. You start with berry bushes underneath your TC. So Franks, Incas, perhaps, and what's the last one gonna be? I will say Byzantines because Dravidians and Malay would make more sense on migration. So let's have a look. Game 3 on presumably Land Madness. No, that was the 5th game, sorry. At least we get the 5th game. We don't know. We actually don't. It could be game 4 as well. Migration it is, so my theory goes down the drain. And we can see perfect here. Migration this, they've gone for a different variety of colors here. They've forgotten to... Oh, I think they forgot to lock teams because now it shows the FFA mode. This is going to be a massive pain in the ass when we're looking at the stats. But we'll have to deal with it and hope they don't change teams along the way. So they will have individual scores. Don't trust the scores. They are on team. As you can see from the allied colors here. They just picked the... forgot to lock teams or whatever. Right. Tombakinas with the Dravidians on flank here. Going to play the galleys nice and early, I would assume, since you get 200 wood boost as the Dravidians when you reach the next age. Pocket really far away. Hoopla down south with a tiny fish boom kind of pond in the corner here. Maybe space for 2 fishing ships to boom down here. As the Romans 5% faster working economy, starting from the Dark Age already, doesn't it? So, an eco bonus that will help you out nicely throughout the game. Also got... Oh, I mix up the naval bonuses, but I think Romans... At least they have some bonuses applying to the galleys as well. But they could claim the middle with the Centurions and castles and cavalry power as well. Finally, in the blue, we have a Lamb Alarm with the Byzantines, faster firing fire ships. And basically got all the cheaper counters for almost everything in the game. Cheaper skirmishers, cheaper halberdiers, cheaper camels. Tefayo with the Italians here. Cheaper fish, should have any fishing ships, should have an easy time getting those out. First one in production currently. And lots of bonuses applying to water for the Italians as well. On land, they could make use of Condottiero as well in the middle. Sort of like a shortcut to the champion. It's anti-gunpowder infantry units. Infantry unit. Every player on the team gets access to that once you're in the Imperial Age. So I've seen some fast Imperial Age Condottiero plays on maps sometimes. In the yellow, we have Gizados as the Persians, going to boom it away again. Maybe claim the land earlier, just go for a fast Castle Age approach here. Remains to be seen. And Chotosaurio with the Saracens in the purple over here. Just fast forward a little bit. The stats will be harder to follow because we have the FFA view here rather than the team game view, but I'll try to keep an eye out for when they advance here as the players are Dropping additional docks here. Here we go. Villages are in. We can see it over here. The progression. So red. Triple docks with the Italians. Investing heavily in water here now. Lava alarm matching that with 3 docks as well. Instantly going for the fire galleys. Is he gonna move out like right as they complete, maybe? That would be bad news for that galley in that case. But the galleys can hit and run. The fire galleys need to get close to attack, so Tefayo gets to dictate when and where to fight for this map. Left hand side, we have some galleys out as well. Saracens producing the galleys as well. Where's the market? No market just yet. Naval fighting from both flanks. A fast cast teleport from both pockets. 37 villagers for both of the pocket players. Village at 37 villagers for Hoopla. Let's go to the resource tab for a bit. Not quite there yet. Could be that our yellow friend will be clicking up earlier. We can't really see the fish stats here, but they both committed heavily to fish. I'd say more for Hoopla with the Romans. And Hoopla's teammates are making great efforts on at least, well, on both flanks, to be fair. I think they're a little bit puzzled about the migration home map pick for the other team, where we can't even show the team overview because it's the wrong game mode setting. So remember to lock teams, guys, otherwise this is going to happen for the recorded games in Capture H. Alright, Fire Galleys getting great value here. And I like the fact that Tom Aquinas has sent just a couple of galleys over to the Persian's pocket as well. Idling at least some of the fish, but yeah, lots of fishing ships still working for the Persian's player. I can only assume that the castle age is on the way, but we can't really see it in the overview unless there's something I'm missing around here. But they're both going castle age. And it's going to be the yellow player reaching it about 25% earlier or faster. Demo raft for Tefayo here in the red, but getting seriously compromised at the home island here. Will lose the docks. It's going to be really tough for the red player to get to the middle island at all here. Whereas Hoopla and Ginsados are in the middle already. Ginsados already dropping the town center. While the flanks are doing their business on the sides here, looks like the Saracens player has managed to get back on track here. The Saracens galleys fire faster as well. Slower reload time for the galley. No, faster reload time for the galleys for Saracens. So managing to keep the Dravidians away here, even though Tom Aquinas had some nice early aggression going on there. But red is trapped. May need some help from a teammate to move over here, unless the redocking in the corner will be possible here for Tefayo. Sending one wheel draw. There is a fire galley here, but it's not on the shoreline, so that could be the way back. Lava Alarm needs to scout this area as soon as possible. UTC's in the middle now for yellow. Hoopla settling for the one, dropping a barracks just now, wants to scout and claim borrow the middle area with some kind of cavalry investment. 12 fire galleys for our blue friend, as Tom Aquinas has gone into the fire galleys as well and wants to try and redock on the other side. No, he's going to transport over, I guess. He's just going to scream for help from a teammate or something. Here comes the stable for Hoopla. Gisaldo's scouting Hoopla's location, knowing that the teal player is in the middle. But the Persians going to get a head start to the boom here. 3 town centers in the middle, still got the town center at home base as well, and about to get that first Catalan. Nice spot from Lavalar, not going to allow Red to redock at this point, so Red is trapped on their own starting island here, can't really contribute to the middle or to the naval battles at all. Not a good position to be in on migration at this stage in the game. So I would say that dying to the boar, the blue, teal, grey team are in a good spot here. Stage for blue as well. Immediately dropping a university and committing to more galleys. No, committing to galleys now. Sorry, not more galleys, but galleys. Wants to get into more galleys to range more of the economy of Tefayo. Essentially a 2 versus 3 situation here, in a sense at least. That is assuming that Tom Aquinas can make it to the middle, but Tom Aquinas at least didn't lose the docks yet. So there's that. Four galleys from Lavalar. Not really the numbers needed to deal with Chotosaurio here, who's moved all the way around from either side here to try and obstruct the Byzantine situation here. Maybe a bit of a diversion maneuver as well to allow Tefayo to redock. Let's see if Lavalar takes that bait. Doesn't need to send all of the fire galleys back. Gisaldos with a Persian's castle to obstruct Hoopla's middle progress as well. Fire galleys still for Tom Aquinas, but managed to get to the middle as well, so 2 players from dying to the war in the middle at this point. I don't think there's any stopping this castle. I'm not sure if Hoopla even sees it. Hoopla does see it, and opts for another barracks to the side, having seen the cavalry investment of the Persians. Yeah, Lavalar made it to the middle as well, so 3 players against 1 in the middle. This should be great news for dying to the boar. Yes, Chotosaurio is getting some value in the left-hand side here, but now still in the fuel age, getting to the gas age, but halfway there, at risk of losing to the fire ships over here from Tom Aquinas. Yeah, galleys going down. Naval armies reducing quickly for Chotosaurio, but also going to establish some presence in the middle here. Castle on the home island for Tefayo. Basically the only way to get some docks back up and get back into it here, but yeah, it's lost lots of time here at the home island defending, losing all of the docks. Basically won't be providing anything to the game for another 8 to 10 minutes, and that might just, it might just not be possible for Gisaldos to buy enough time for Tefayo to get back to it here. We're going to get some kind of pike or halb siege push here, or defense from Hoopla. That should keep the Persians cavalry away. Gisaldo's mainly been booming thus far. Definitely got the best boom of all the players here. But Tom Aquinas not doing too shabby either. 73 villagers now, also got some middle presence, dropping the archery ranges, suggesting that cavalry archers will make it to the game for the Dravidians in not too long. Suppose you could also add some armored elephants to tear down the castle in the middle here, while waiting for trebuchets. Castle for the Persians, really manifesting the position in the middle, but look at the raids up top. Lavalar taking out a lot of the fish. That is going to set back the food economy of Gysados quite a bit, and is going to make it tougher to get the remaining economy over to the middle island as well. Yeah, more fish going down. Red finally going to transport over to the middle as well. Pikes? Ooh, are they going to deny it? The castle in the middle here. Hoopla. We can't really see the upgrades on them or anything, can we? So anywhere we can see that? No, just want to see the allied. Oh, I hate this overlay. Byzantines with the castle. Does that mean that the Imperial Age is on the way for Lava Alarm? Missing some food. But the Byzantines have cheaper Imperial Age. That might be the way to go here for Lava Alarm to go Imperial Age here and provide some siege weapons, some trebuchets to deal with the Persians' castles in the middle. So not the elephant archers just yet for Tom Aquinas, but lots and lots of crossbows in the queue. No more docks for Jotosauros for the time being, so going to have to re-establish the economy in the middle here. I'd say Dying to the Boar have the naval control here by good margins. In fact, they're the only team with any naval military at this point. Barely any docks left for Imperialis GG. There we go, Imperial Age at 60% for Hoopla, in a good spot now, dropping that castle for the Romans, which means that the Persians' castles could be short-lived unless the Persians player is on the way to the Imperial Age as well, and it doesn't look like it. The resources aren't quite there, so huge power spike advantage for Hoopla entering the Imperial Age here. Does have plenty of wood and gold to produce those trebuchets as well. 2 trebuchets. There are 2 castles for Gysados as well, to be fair, but they won't survive long unless Gysados can provide trebuchets of its own. The water doesn't really require any focus anymore, so you can full focus on the middle now for both teams, and especially Dying to the Boar, with Hoopla doubling up on the halber or pikeman investment, I should say. Getting the appropriate upgrades and should be queuing trebuchets out of both castles. Great. Could potentially use some elevation advantages here as well. They've seen red landing, they found ranges of Jotosauros, so they must know that all of Imperialis GG are in the middle at this point. There's the Imperial Age for the Byzantines player as well. Will we see more trebuchets? 2 trebuchets from the Byzantines as well. That should be incredible to quickly push down the Persians' presence in the middle. And still no sign of any Imperial Age click for... Oh, never mind, here it is. 40% on the way to the Imperial Age for Gysados. Unfortunately, I think that is too late. Halberdier is in for the Romans. Romans also benefit from double effect of the infantry defense upgrade, isn't it? think it is. Can't really get a proper idea of the military population here, but does seem to be like dying to the war are in a great spot. Yes, equal economies between the pockets, but one castle already down. Imperial Age not entirely there yet. Red is in Imperial Age, dropping 2 castles, but have a look at the economy. Barely able to afford more than 1 trebuchet here. Possibly 2. I think this is going to be dying to the war's game again. At least it's looking great for the time being. No attempts to go back on the water. Resources running lower on land. Do we have any cannon galleons yet? Not quite yet. Or Dromons for that matter. Persian defensive fortifications going down. Imperial Age is in, but Chotosaurio also not in any position to go to the Imperial Age. Looking at the resources, so purple struggling for resources here, had to invest into a prolonged feudal age at home base. These guys think they're Saracen's crossbows, taking out buildings like that. Oh, come on, one last. Thank you. Halberdiers kind of as a... I mean, they have that... Maybe it's the attack team. Anyway, Halberdiers in front, forcing crossbows to fire on, or focus fire, or just hit the closest unit. Persian's cavalry, decent in the numbers here, trying to slide the siege, not quite succeeding to do so. Good positioning for dying to the war in the middle here. They're keeping their armies close as well. Arbalest is Impala alarm, giving extra range and attack. Should have no trouble fighting the purple crossbows off here. Only 19 left. Halberdiers numbers needs to be larger at this point though, with the kind of Persian's cavalry now on the field. But look at the pocket resources. I'm sure there's lots of units in the queue here for Saldos, but the resources running lower. And resources at home base running lower as well. Fast fire ship was in for the Byzantines, as we can see, so they're going to keep yellow from sending the rest of the economy to the mainland. Persian's Cavaliers getting valued though, but we're not going to see that Savard for a little while yet. The other Louis crossbow added as a reaction to the Romans cavalry investment, most likely. Arbalest going down for lava alarm here. Maybe there's a chance for Imperialis GG to fight back. In all fairness, the economy doesn't look too bad here for either team. And the pressure from into the war is kind of coming to an end here. Italians managing to get some middle island presence here. Dangerous at this stage in the game. 36 of them out and about. Far more cavalry than Hoopla has invested into. Hoopla does have the Halberdiers upgraded, so maybe should consider switching back into the Halberdier production here at this point. think that would be more useful given the current development of the game. Still no cannon galleons to take out the starting islands here. Probably not the priority at this point. They want to win the middle island. But Lava at risk of losing this beefy Byzantine castle here and a third Italian castle coming up in the middle as well. Tefajo Sintelar with 28 Genoese crossbowmen now. A large enough mass of arbalists should be able to deal with that though. But we need something to deal with the Savar, and the answer is not adding cavaliers, it is indeed to add halberdiers, which Hoopla is doing. Castle down. Hoopla lost both of his castle as well. No, only one castle on top here. But needs to be really patient with the halberdier massing. Or add more barracks to stream out for halberdiers consistently here. I don't think there's any point for Hoopla to add cavaliers here at all. Just keep adding halberdiers. Cancel all the cavaliers and just add halberdiers instead. Oh, but this either pop cap or housed. Can't really tell. Probably housed from losing castle earlier on. Well, this really looked like Dying to the Wars game for a while, but now it's evened out. 100! What is this? Is that the villager count? Or is it a population count? That's a population count, total population. I thought it was villagers, so... That's... yeah. Anyway, these are those close to population gap Hoopla. If this is indeed the total population, which checks out with the military numbers behind here. That's where we see the military numbers, okay. I never used this overlay. I don't know why way around it. But yeah, Hoopla, 19 military, gives all those with almost 3 times that. Tefayo, 53. Military situation looking good for Imperialis GD area. Is their home map after all. You lose the middle at this stage in the game, it's basically game over because you're going to have run out of economy at your mainland, and you're not going to be able to bring them to the middle to keep bringing in resources. GG is caught! And Imperialis GG takes the game. Statistics are going to be individual here, so let's just have a quick look at them before moving into the next game. 315 to 139 for the Persians. Persians basically allowed the free boom there for a long while. Their fish got taken out, but by that point, Gisalos had already established some nice middle presence. I think Hoopla needed to be more offensive early on when landing that early in the middle. Just to get some scouts out, at least have some idea of the map and then scout the progress of the Persians to see whether they are getting their economy growing like that. And then maybe you could stop that and stop that death ball from happening for the late game, which they got rolling eventually with a Genoese crossbowman and cavalry and also archers. Did they become arbalists in the end? Probably, right? Yeah, Saracens. No, still just crossbows for the Saracens, but yeah, powerful completion. Back to the civilizations. That's Hoopla's team losing with Romans, Byzantines, and Dravidians, even if they kept the opponents from the red player at home base for a long time there. And we have the Italians, Persians, and Saracens winning that one. Imperialis GG with migration. Well, the wall comes up next, another dying to the Bornholm map. And we might very well have a 5-game set on our hands here. Let's have a look at game 4. Right, the wall it is. There's a huge Gaia wall in the middle, which you need to break through in order to hit the opponent. Plenty of golds and stones here in the front and in the back, or I guess it's relatively standard resources, but some small piles here and there for the teams to benefit from as well. That one neutral gold. Okay, so that's a 2 tile, that's a 3 tile. Probably not the way it should be, but I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Right, let's have a... Again, they don't have teams enabled, come on! Lock teams! Look at the handbook for lobby settings. Don't do this to me! You are not listed as team. You could basically change teams here and claim victory with your opponents. And the overlay is not a good one for 3v3. Come on, check your lobby settings. Ask your teammates and opponents to confirm. It's not that hard. Makes it a lot harder to follow team games, but here it is. Lava Alarm as the Malay will go up through the ages 66% faster. Which makes for a potential fast Imperial Age push as an option. Will allow you to get to... Oh, you didn't see the chat there because my laptop has frozen. Malay, faster uptimes, indeed 66% faster. Hoopla with the Cumans in the middle here, playing it like arena style, most likely going to go for a fast feudal age time into a second town center and a kickstart, head start to the boom, should we say. And Tom Aquinas as the Portuguese to the right hand side here, playing in the grey. And Organ Guns comes to mind. Freitorias when the game goes late and long for added trickle of all resources. Portuguese just got lots of opportunities. Gold discount on any gold costing unit. On the other side we have Girsados with the Lithuanians. There are plenty of relics here on this Savol edition. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 relics from Lithuanians should be, and that's only on their side on the wall, so there shouldn't be any issues getting the full relic advantage for the Lithuanians here. Shotosaurio with the Aztecs in the middle here. Aztecs pocket, bit of a peculiar one, but it is what it is. The Aztecs will probably be playing monks and or eagles here, we'll see. And top side we have Tefaha sin Terrar in red. With the Bohemians, another strong close map civilization. I can't believe for picking the Wallace home map that they would let the opponents get away with this many of their, well, the good close map civilizations. But it is a close map. It's a huge wall in the middle. We are not going to see any early aggression here, most likely. I don't really even see any feudal age aggression happening here, as opposed to what could happen on Arena, but you never know. We have the humans starting the feudal age boom, and the other players just slowly work their way towards the next age. We can't really keep up with the when they advance because of someone forgetting to set the proper lobby settings. But we'll speed it up and see what comes next. Lava Alarm forward with plenty of villagers. That's going to be a castle drop down to swiftly break through the wall and try to get something happening here. They're both dropping castles in the middle. Bohemians on one side, Malay on the other, and a third castle drop happening down south from Tom Aquinas. That's not really going to be scouted. Oh, it is scoutable. So Portuguese and Malay castle drops. I'm not sure what the Malay bring to the party here. 1080 HP on the stone walls, so quickly getting through there, going for some Karambit warrior raids here from Lava Alarm. Meanwhile, Hoopla is just trying to secure that feudal age boom at home base here. It's unique units all over the place. Portuguese. Uh-oh, quick scout.
Yeah.
Not really any walling of significance here. Gefados securing some of the area. Lithuanians a good booming civilization again. With once you complete the town center, you're granted 100 food. This is the Eagles for the Aztecs, so no monks as of yet. I feel like the Eagles will make for better raids than the Karambits, but who will trade better here? Karambits with only 7 melee attacks, so actually the Eagles should be able to efficiently clean up the Karambits. Oh, qual efforts from Tefayo there, but not quite good enough. The Karambits diving in. Bitcoin getting value here. Tagging in the middle here. Hoopla still in the feudal age, but halfway to castle age now. Most villagers of all here. The only player is one there. Well, not the only player. 2 of the players have 2 DCs at this point. Guns low in numbers, not really getting too much against the Lithuanians. Knights here. 4 attack on the knights, as probably 4 relics have been brought in already. Gives a nice gold boost as well for Imperialis figure. EV Warrior is here. Hello. Page in for Hoopla as well. Third stable about to complete. Not going for the Knights or anything, just going for Step Lancers. Should probably have no trouble cleaning up these Hussite wagons over here. There's passage on either side. Walls far from complete for Imperialis GG over at the other side here. The Lithuanians getting the defense upgrades in, but and obviously has that relics advantage, but doesn't necessarily have the numbers to keep up with a 70 villagers humans economy here. Have a look at the eco defense, that undisturbed humans feudal boom here. Hoopla not engaging yet though. Not being a good teammate here to deal with the raids of the Hussite wagons. Step Lancer's great raiding unit, but apparently not that great against the high HP Hussite wagons. Karambit's being cleaned up. There's still an annoyance that needs to be addressed, right? So Lavalarm getting some value here. 9 villager kills. Can't really tell the overall stats here because someone forgot to lock teams. That's why the overlay is fucked up. So please check your lobby settings. With lots of step lancers in the queue, but not so many out on the field. Herset wagons 7 on the field, Bandits with a few more in the queue. Trading surprisingly well here, but it's also Hoopla maybe being a little bit impatient with the army mass here. Obviously doesn't want his teammates to suffer too much against the pressure going on here. But not able to keep to use the step lancers offensively just yet, Hoopla, but keeping the Herset wagons away. Which is obviously a good thing over here. But kind of looks green on the minimap. That's a bit confusing. Three stables still queuing the step lancers. Karambits just trickling in one at a time, being plenty annoying here. They're also obstructing that one gold mine of Tefaho. Is it? No. There's gold over here as well, okay. But still an annoyance you need to address, right? The Jadians, knights here, usually step lancers and knights. I mean, the knights will always win with their higher hit points when they get close to the fights, but the step lancers could technically hit and run a bit with their 1 range. Step lancers forward to raid. I think that's a good call. Forcing a reaction at home base here. Lithuanians knights will be getting to value as well. Not much to protect Lavalarm at home base here. But yeah, they're sending them back. They need to deal with the raids going on here. And right on the monastery, that's going to diminish instantly diminish the attack of the knights. Spoke of the faster uptimes for the Malay earlier, and Lavalarm has taken advantage of that with the fast Imperial Age here, which means that the castles could be trapped down as well. So the Bohemians castle could go down to the Malay trebuchets at this point. Good strategic move by Tudor having the Malay player going in here and deal with the one production building that Tefayo has to rely on here. The monastery is down. Are we going to see a relic heist here as well? Is 6 relics no longer providing any gold income here. Oh, come on! For Gonzalo's 2491 gold. They did bring in though. They won't grab out for now. But the base has been breached. The Lithuanian player is struggling. Look at the resources. Not able to produce in the Wall Real 3. Only 4 knights. The fully boomed Cubans player who played with 121 villagers at this point. 38 step lancers out on the field. 12 more in the queue, just trickling them in here. And meanwhile, the Karamba is just raiding away topside here, keeping Tefayo away as well. And the GG well played is called. It's a 2-2, and we have a final match on Land Madness to end it. We won 8. In the KD for Tom Aquinas. Not too shabby for the Portuguese, but Hoopla, MVP here arguably. Undisturbed Cuban's boom. Should never be allowed, and Hoopla showed the power of that. 10,000 more resources than the best economy on the other side, and that's even including the relic gold income there for the Lithuanian player. Interesting and efficient approach. So a well thought out strategy for dying to the board there. Malay player raiding nice and early, upsetting the economy of the opponents. Hoopla getting away with the boom because of that annoyance, and able to field strong raiding and attacking units to finally close out the game. Fifth and last game on Land Madness. Let's just make sure to cross out the civilizations used first. Sweden's Aztecs and Bohemians going down there. Land Madness, we're gonna see Magyars, we're gonna see Tatars. What's the last one going to be? Probably going to be Ethiopians because the Britons... Maybe we'll see the Britons, I don't know. We'll definitely see lots of scouts at least, because it's going to be both the Magyars and the Tatars most likely here. We'll have a Frank's pocket from Hoopla's team for sure. If not Teutons actually. Maybe both, maybe a double scouts approach here. And I expect to see Incas rather than Koreans. So maybe Franks, Koreans, Incas rather than the Teutons here. But let's bring up Land Madness and have a look. No Teutons, but it is indeed the Britons. So let's see if they finally have sorted the lock teams settings here, so we get to see the actual team names again. Or something like this. At least it's 2-2. So need to set the team names again. It's here. Land Madness it is. Saito with the Ethiopians gets a 100 food, 100 gold instant resource boost entering the next age. Makes it easier to afford fletching, men-at-arms upgrade. Just a few more archers nice and early on. In the pocket we have Girsados with the Magyars. Has been playing a nice pocket performance all game. Could be the winning move. Magyars strong on Land Madness with their mobility and instant melee upgrades for the cavalry units. Cheaper scouts as well, 15% cheaper scouts. Tefaho with the Britons to the left, playing in the red here. Britons much more immobile than the cavalry civilizations. But that's not to say archers can't do great damage on a map like this, because your woodlines are always going to be exposed. You won't be able to place a town center until you've chopped at least all the way in here. So always going to be subject to raids, and especially ranged raids. For dying to the board, we have Tom Aquinas in the teal here as the Koreans. Instant defense upgrades does help a little bit, especially in the feudal age aggression against Britons, but once Britons get to the Catholic age, they will always outrange any other crossbow arbalist civilization. Britons +1 range in Catholic age, another +1 in the Imperial age, that stacks, and Ye Omen from the Castle age well, so they have the farthest range by far for their foot archers. Pocket position for dying to the board, that would be Mike G in the green. And playing as the Franks. Why the Franks? Because you start with a berry bush underneath your TC, or is it even 2 of them? Oh, just 1. They're not good heroes. Good heroes would be good here as well. But yeah, there are other additional berry bushes all around the map, in fact, so you could probably make use of that for the later game as well, as the ranks forage the berries a little bit faster, 15% faster, I think it is at this point. It used to be 25, but ranks needed a nerf at some point. Finally, Incas for Lava Alarm. Eagle Warriors comes to mind, but so does Archers. Not really Slingers unless they're up against some kind of infantry shenanigans here, but that's very unlikely against the Ethiopians, unless Saito at some point goes for Shotel Warriors, the unique unit. Then Slingers would be relevant for the Incas. Let's speed it up a little bit until we get to the feudal age and see what they bring us for that. Not going to see super early uptimes here because the food situation is a little bit more complicated. You need to push more deer. There's only one boar, so you need to push deer to have the same kind of food as you would on an Arabia start. But it looks like the players have found ways to circumvent that and get to the feudal age at the almost standard 18-19 population here. Quite common in team games these days. The barracks is up. Saito not quite in the feudal age yet, but probably going to go for the double range. That's certainly the plan for the Britons and I would say the Koreans, but it's only one range for only no going to gold. That has to be an issue for top Akinas to get production going here. Britons also have 10% faster working archery ranges. There's that to keep in mind as well. One range for the Incas. One range for Saito with the Ethiopians. Not enough wood to place the blacksmith just yet. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Placing an even further forward second range. Scouts are out. 4 scouts for the Magyars. Should be a good opening for the Gesados here. Better, more consistent production of scouts than Mike. Admittedly, higher hit points on the scouts for now, having the Franks instant 20% hit points bonus for the cavalry, but that's going to fade away quickly once the Magyars player gets to Bloodlines. That's going to provide 20 more hit points for the scouts, and then we're looking at Magyars 60 hit point scouts against the Franks 54. Preemptive defensive tower from Mike G might not be a bad idea, as this is the only wood line. Doesn't immediately need the gold either, because it's going to commit to scouts for a while. The gold can be secured later. Just need to survive the first wave of armies. Good aggression by Lava Alarm over here in the blue, idling lots of... what even were those? Lumberjacks or berry pickers? I'm not even sure. Saito struggling for gold and... food? No food being brought in for Saito at the moment. Does cure villagers? Yes, but doesn't have any food income at the moment. That has been denied by the archers. Probably wanted to place a mill on these berries, but Lava Alarm had a different say in that. Didn't want it that way. So that's going to become an issue real shortly for Saito. Looks like great army value from Imperialis for now. The eco situation is similar, but neither bore half the military of their opposing side. Saito with the counter aggression now as well, stabilized a bit at home base. Still struggling for food, will need to place that mill on those players, otherwise those are going to be really inefficient. Yeah, great aggression here on the left-hand side. Britons with 15 archers at this point, lost 7 units, still keeping that army snowballing nicely in power here. Neither team going to attempt any castle age transition anytime soon, but I get the feeling that Imperialis are pushing better here. They're establishing a villager's lead. They do have higher idle these times because of Saito having big food struggles here. But maybe the raids on the other side can help remedy the situation there. Scouts lead still for the Imperialis with the Magyars here. Losing woodline for Tom Akinas as well. It's 1 woodline down. Still got 11 lumberjacks. There's another... No, both woodlines are being idle. That's huge. That's huge. Tom Akinas lost 9 villagers. He's got 11 lumberjacks, but they're all garrisoning at the TC. No wood being brought in at all for the Koreans now, which means no military production possible from the archery raid. Yes, a few more archers in the queue. Not going to be nearly enough, and won't be able to queue any skirmishes either without or with income happening over here. Saito doing some work, I think the goal of Lava Alarm as well. Could pressure the woodline as well from either angle. In fact, it's open on the other side. I'm wondering if at this point it would benefit Imperialis. Well, first of all, they need more scouts, unless Girsalos has decided now to idle. They've done plenty damage. Maybe he's idling the scouts production to get a massive Castle Age lead over Mike G, who has neither gold nor food to go to the Castle Age here, and keeps queuing scouts, so we'll be having more mobility, more scouts on the field, but as a result will be lagging significantly behind with the double stable play against the single stable play of Girsados over here. And look at the value they're getting. 8 eco kills so far for the red player. Right hand side, the aggression has halted a bit. We have a defensive tower on the gold, keeping gold safe from Lava Alarm. Trying to move out for a counterattack. 3 ranges. Desperately trying to keep up with the Ethiopians' numbers, but the Ethiopians' archers also fire faster. And now Castle Age is on the way for the Magyars. At this point you want to hit the pocket really, because don't want to allow Girsaldos to enter the Castle Age undisturbed here. Pulling the archers back for Tefaiho as well. Double ranges still producing Castle Age on the way. Economy not looking too great with upgrades in mind here, but should be decent enough to get crossbow Bodkin upgrades in by the time we reach the Castle Age. Bodkin could even be delayed a bit for the Britons because they get an extra range once they enter the Castle Age anyway. Mike attempting some raids here on Britain's home base. Good timing because they're about to enter the Castle Age. Could maybe pick up some archers before the Crossbow and potentially Bodkin upgrades kick in. Magyars now with +2 attack on the cavalry, that instantly kicks in. Being the Magyars bonus, we also have double stables producing the knights, and Mike G hasn't even clicked up, still lacking 300, 400, 500 food to get there. Great display here with Imperialis GG, and 2000 there's immediately for Guitardos as well. They probably feel like they have the upper hand here now. 2 players in the castle age dying to the boar. Not quite there yet. Only player going to the castle age is the Korean player, and there isn't really much military to benefit from that transition. So if I don't even know if Guitardos needs to be here to do proper damage to Tom Akita's side. There's plenty of Britain's crossbows and increasing here. 27 crossbows, they have Bodkin as well, so they have 5+3 range now. No chance for the few skirmishers to get any damage in here at all. Scouts won't be doing much from Mike G. Twice the military for Imperialis, that's the important number here now. The villager count is lying, because dying to the board they will be further behind with all of them now on the way to the castle age. But this is also the time to kill for Imperialis GG. They can't get too boomy just yet. That might allow dying to the board to stabilize and get back into it here. Yeah, so diving in for the woodline again. At this point, you could probably even ignore the tower, or just sit at this angle and don't worry about the tower reaching the crossbows. Once again, Tom Aquinas gets the wood denied. Has to relocate back to the town center and will enter the castle age with barely any military to benefit from the castle age upgrade. Vitor reaching the castle age earlier than Lavalarm as well. Both have mixed in skirmishers. Not too commonly seen in team games, because the pocket player will always be able to provide some cavalry to take advantage of the fact that skirmishers have minimum range. Spreading out the crossbows here. Koreans with the towers, they instantly upgrade into guard towers, so there's that. But here's Guitardos with the death blow. It's hitting the Franks player just as the castle age kicked in. Mike G, yes, got 4 knights in the queue, but that's about all he's going to be able to afford. This has to be the death blow here. Mike G will never be able to survive this. Scrambles up a monastery, but all of the economy idled here. 20% worker efficiency. Won't be able to get more than 4 knights out, and that's like 1/5 of the armor sides of Guitardos here. Britons handling their own over here. Mangonel defense won't really help out much, because the Britons crossbows outrange Mangonels. 7 range compared to 8 range, or 5+3 range. 5th and final game. Will you fight on here if you're dying to the boar? They're being pressured on every home base here, and there's 60 villagers behind at this point. Not a pretty sight, but a tough open map to play as well. Especially when you're up against good mobility seal like the Magyars. And have cheaper scouts to open the game. And with a good castle age transition like this, they'll absolutely dominate with the castle age cavalry armies as well. Now moving over to the Korean side of the file, moving over to... Okay, they're switching places, because why not? The player who's taken the least damage of dying to the boar is Lamalar. But if they had seen the stats, I think they might have all the GG here, because they're 60 villagers behind now, and if you look at the military stats, it's almost 10 times the military size for Imperialis now. 10 times the army value. Here goes the castle, not doing any damage really for Saito, but maybe some Shotel warriors going to dive in for some raids here. Town center still garrisoned for Mike G. I think Mike G might have just stopped playing at this point. Probably doesn't really see the reason to keep playing here, as they're being dominated on the Last remaining home map, Imperialis taking the 3-2. GG well played. Champions of the 5th division of 3v3 League. Ah, Saito really putting in the work there. 82 kills. Looked rough at the start, but once he established some kind of military presence and got the raids in on Lava Alarm really took a beating there. BTC Boom starting to kick in for Gixados. Huge difference between the pockets here, 500 resources difference. And that's it. GG well played, and congratulations to Imperialis GG, who might see themselves in a different division if they participate again. That always depends upon who sign-ups. Let's hop into the challenge and record this result. Division 5. And a 32 for Imperialis. GG, well played. Right, that's gonna be it for today. We might see another playoff final on Saturday or Sunday, but I shouldn't be making any promises. I'll announce it in my Discord when I know. But for now, thanks for watching, and goodbye.